What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you guys a review of the Union Air Jordan 4 Retro SP in the Guava Ice colorway. Today's video is sponsored by A World United, more commonly known just as United. They're an independent clothing and sneaker label, and starting on Saturday, September 12th, they're opening pre-orders for their latest shoe, the United Love 01 in the Neapolitan colorway. These shoes are made to order, and this is going to be probably your only chance to grab this pair. And they're also dropping a limited edition t-shirt as well, which matches the shoes perfectly. So definitely check them out, links are down below. Be sure to support the independents and make sure to tell them I sent you. Jumping back to the shoes, these Union Air Jordan 4s is one of the most hotly anticipated sneakers of the year. They released on August 29th for a retail price of $250 US, which translates to about 330 Canadian. The official colorway for this shoe is Guava Ice, Light Bone, Brigade Blue, and Light Fusion Red. And this shoe released alongside a ton of apparel and 3 other sneakers as well. So this Guava Ice Jordan 4 is rumored to be a Union exclusive, whereas the other Jordan 4 in the collection, the Off Noir colorway, that one is set to have a secondary release worldwide later on this month. So as we all know by now, the Union Jordan 1, which was the collaboration before this one, has become one of the most sought after Jordan 1s in today's market. However, when images of the Jordan 4 Union's first release, it was pretty controversial and there was a ton of people, myself included, that were not fans. I think the biggest thing people didn't like was the look of the tongue, but according to Union's owner and operator Chris Gibbs, the tongue was intentionally done in this way because back in the day, Chris himself used to roll down his tongue and rock his Jordan 4s in this way. So I'm definitely guilty of being one of those people that was hating on the shoe at first, but the turning point for me was when it was revealed that the tongue can actually be unstitched, revealing a more normal looking Jordan 4 tongue, which in my opinion completely changed the look of the shoe. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box. These come in a special edition box, which is actually very beautifully done. The top lid is done in this vintage looking yellow finish, and we have Michael Jordan's hands along with the word Union done in script lettering. And then inside the box, the paper has this Michael Jordan graphic as well, which is a very nice touch. So taking a deep dive into the shoe, you'll see that the design on this Jordan 4 is actually modified from your traditional Jordan 4. So they've incorporated this extra panel in the toe box, and this area is constructed out of mesh. Surrounding the outer edge of the toe cap, here we have this light pink or tan colored suede. And this material has a very nice thickness to it, and in terms of quality, it feels pretty good to the touch. Moving downwards, we have the signature lace crown, and the bottom one is done in this red colored TPU. And then behind this, you can see we have more of that suede which runs up the center of the shoe where the eyelets are, as well as running down the length of the shoe, serving as a mudguard. In the middle of the mid panel, we have this vintage looking yellow colored netting, and then at the bottom of this, on the lateral side only, we have the Union LA tag done in yellow. The top lace crown is done in this blue finish, and then this is connected to your signature Jordan 4 wing. But another difference in this version versus your normal Jordan 4 is whereas your normal Jordan 4 wing has this cutout in the middle, in this case there's no hole in the center and it's entirely done in this semi-translucent white finish. Next to this, surrounding the ankle collar area, here we have this red colored mesh. And then on the back end of the sneaker, we have the signature Air Jordan 4 heel tab, and in this case, this is done in this blue finish with Nike Air branding in red. Hanging off the left shoe, they also give you this Union hang tag as well, which is something that the OG Jordan 4s came with. For the laces, these come standard with a sail or off-white colored lace, but they do give you a secondary pair of yellow laces if you want to give the shoe a little bit more splash and pop. I personally prefer the look of the off-white laces, and I think the yellow laces look a bit better with the Off Noir pair, but I think either way you can't go wrong. Underneath the laces, we have the tongue. So the bottom half of the tongue is covered in that vintage looking netting that was found on the sides, and then the top of the tongue is definitely the most controversial aspect of this shoe. So as you can see straight out of the box, the top of the tongue is folded and stitched down. So you see that Air Jordan tag that's normally found on the inner side of the tongue. In this case, because it's rolled over and stitched down, it's visible from the outside. But one of the first things I did when I got this shoe was unstitch this tongue. So honestly, it was a very easy process. I just got some small scissors and just cut across the yellow thread. And after that, it was just a matter of pulling out the strings and then flipping the tongue back up. So now that I've unstitched the tongue, you can see that this looks more like a traditional Jordan 4 tongue. And on the outside, you can see there's this black tag, which has this red Jumpman and Union branding in white. The top of the tongue sort of has this unfinished look to it. We have these perforations found throughout, and the edges of the tongue reveal the foam within it. So the inner liner of these 4s is done in this blue color, and then taking out the insole, these come with a blue colored polyurethane insole with a Jumpman and Union branding on the heel in red. So the upper of these Jordan 4s sits atop this foam midsole, which is done in this vintage yellow color. Underneath the heel, we have this cutout which exposes the air sole unit found within the midsole for cushioning and comfort. And the air unit itself in this case is also done in yellow. Flipping the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your classic Jordan 4 outsole. In this case, this is done in that same vintage yellow looking color that the midsole was done in, but we have this hit of white on the forefoot, red in the middle, and it's finished off with this blue Nike logo. So that pretty much breaks down the look of this shoe. I know a lot of people are wondering how do these fit. So in my experience, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I wear between a size 10 to 10.5 in most of my Jordan 4s. Depending on the material that it's done in, I find that some Jordan 4s fit a bit more snug in the toe box. And overall, I'd say that these fit true to size if you have narrow or normal width feet, but if you have wider feet, then I would probably recommend going up a half size. I feel like the suede that they use was pretty thick, and my feet are a little bit wider, but at the same time they're not the widest, but I could already feel the size of the shoe sort of clamping down and giving me a little bit of discomfort on the pinky toe. Lengthwise though, it was absolutely perfect, so I think I can get by with sticking true to size. But if you normally go up a half size for your Jordan 4s, or again, if you have really wide feet, then I would probably recommend going up the half size. Next up in terms of comfort, so these Union 4s are okay on feet. To me, they're not the most comfortable sneaker on the market. This is still a retro sneaker, so you're not going to feel too much from a softness standpoint, but the inclusion of the polyurethane insole was a decent touch, and overall this will be a fine shoe for just everyday casual use. Last but not least, quickly touching upon the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, I'd say that it was a pretty decent, well-built shoe. As I mentioned from the start, the suede has a nice thickness to it, and while it isn't the best suede I've ever seen, I'd say that it's above average. Beyond that though, the actual craftsmanship on this pair was pretty good, and the paint on the midsole was actually pretty good as well. Is it worthy of the $250 price tag? Probably not, and I feel like your standard GR New Balance is probably better made and has better materials than this, but as far as Air Jordans go, unfortunately, I'd say that it's above average. So with all that said now, let's lace up these Guava Union Jordan 4s and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. This Union Jordan 4 is undoubtedly one of the biggest releases of 2020. And regardless of how you feel about this shoe, whether you hate it or love it, it definitely got the sneaker community talking, and that's usually a good thing. For me, I definitely have to eat my words. I was absolutely trashing this shoe when I first saw images of it. But again, I feel like the fact that you're able to unstitch the tongue and the way that it looks now, it legit looks very, very different than it originally did. Still, comparing this to the Union Jordan 1, there's no question, I feel like the ones are way, way better. And this pair is definitely not going to be one of my top 3 or top 5 releases of the year. But all in all, I've learned to appreciate this release a lot more. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this guava color Air Jordan 4 Unions. Did you guys manage to cop this pair? And between this one and the Off Noir, which of the two do you guys prefer? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at sgo8. Check out my Twitter account at sean.go and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in my next review.